back. Today I'm going to be reading and reacting to your theories about what's going to happen in season 3 of The Wheel of Time. Discord theories, people that posted in my Discord. I haven't gotten to the YouTube ones yet. I'm going to try to get to them before the season 3 drops. But yeah, as of recording this video, we have seen the teaser, the trailer, and the trailer. So good. The 11-minute sneak peek. So yes, and I'm recording this intro after having recorded the video, so there are spoilers. I tried not to, but I'm not good at it. There are spoilers that go as far as Towers of Midnight, which is the second to last book in the series. And literally, I even talk about New Spring. So if you have read everything except for the last book in the series, you'll watch this. But if you haven't, you gotta shoo. This is not a same video. I will spoil things for you. But if you have, let's get into these theories.
Let's be nerdy with Let's Be Nerdy. Let's be nerdy with Let's Be Nerdy.
Okay, so our first theory today from Dana Zool. Elayne trying on the rose crown and the quick glimpse of her in Novice White in the Amelin study, are part of the same scene where she is called to an audience with Morghese and perhaps chastised, and reminded that she will one day be the Queen of Andor. That's my theory as well about that scene, by the way, because the idea that it was part of her accepted test just doesn't make sense, given that she's wearing Novice Whites. I don't think she would be wearing Novice Whites during her coronation, like even in her own mind or in whatever other realm the accepted test Tel'aran'rhiod makes. So yeah, this makes sense. I believe this is in episode 2, okay, sometime before Elayne takes her accepted test. That makes sense. Again, she's in Novice Whites. That makes a lot of sense. All right, this is also Dana's theory. I think a lot of people have the following theory. The still of Egwene and Rand waking up next to each other is just after Egwene found Rand's dreams. Oh, that makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. Because okay. In those dreams, she saw Rand kissing Lanfear Selene on their special rock. Yep. And Lanfear saw her. Egwene confronts Rand immediately after this, asking if he loves her. That makes sense. Now, I'm trying to figure out why they would be, like, sleeping there. I guess they could be, just sharing a tent. Okay. Yeah, this works for me. This works. This theory works. All right, another Dana theory. Joya is somehow stilled and captured during the Black Aja battle and escaped from the White Tower. We know, sorry, I'm stopping halfway through, but we've seen that scene from the trailer of somebody who is bald in what looks like a cell of some kind. So yes, and this is how they learn that Liandrin and company are going to Tanchico and find something with which to control Rand. I think somebody else had this theory further up, but yes, this makes a lot of sense to me. I also think that Slayer will execute Joya in captivity. I mentioned this as well, and I think my trailer breakdown, I think that's a possibility, because this could be a good way to introduce Slayer and then have him show up in the Two Rivers. I don't know if they're going to do Slayer. There's a lot of weird stuff that they have to introduce this season. So Slayer is weird. Slayer is probably the weirdest thing in the books. It's just two people merged together. They're one in the real world, one in a different person in the dream world. Like, it's weird. But if they do Slayer, I could definitely see them introducing him here. And, like, maybe in one form, we see him murder Joya, or, like, slaughter Joya, or whatever you want to call it, assassinate. And then we see them in a different form in the Two Rivers, but somehow then, as things progress, we see that they're the same person. I don't know. But that's my crackpot theory. I don't know if they'll do it, because, again, Slayer is the weirdest thing in these books as far as the magic system is concerned. All right, materials Dan. Slayer could totally be a hidden Forsaken. Ooh, instead of the weird whatever. That's interesting. That's an interesting way to do it. That's an interesting way to simplify things. Yeah, okay. I could see that. Or, like, maybe just some sort of shadow spawn? Like, I'm trying to think how they could simplify Slayer. Sorry, I thought that I've just had now, like, literally, as I'm talking, the Golem? Like, Slayer could be the Golem? Because the Golem is also an assassin, right? Like, that's... They could merge them. This is, like, I'm just spitballing here. I don't know. literally coming up with that theory now and trying to, as I'm talking, see if there are conflicts that would make that not work. Right now, as I'm trying to think this through live, I can't think of any, just because they're both really weird. Okay. New crackpot theory on the fly. Maybe they would merge them. All right, Pilks. Jenny is gonna squeeze so loud at Kate kisses she breaks the microphone. Possibly. I will squeeze so loud at all the kisses. I do not I mean, I guess I do prioritize some kisses over others, but I just smooch. I just want the smooches. All right, Kenzo. I think Siuan will have more screen time this season. In the first one, she was only in 1 episode. In the second season, she showed up in 2, barely, but yes. This time, I'm guessing she'll be in at least 3. The first one is for Liandrin's trial. We've already seen that in the sneak peek, yeah. And maybe for Egwene's test, too. She might also be in the episode with Morgase's coronation cold open. And the last, maybe the one with... Oh, I gotta unspoil this. Okay, right. With the Tower coup. Okay. Plus, it's the first time I can remember that Sophie Okonedo's doing any kind of promo. That's true for the Watch show. Though for some season, the interview, video can't be seen on YouTube anymore. Right. Sorry, this comment is obviously from like maybe 2 weeks ago. You can watch that interview now. So I think that means she got a bigger role this season. Her getting a bigger role this season makes a lot of sense. Siuan is introduced in book 2, like very briefly, and then she's kind of in... she's in the Dragon Reborn, but she's the catalyst basically for sending the girls away. Book 4 is where she becomes she becomes core in book 4, in my opinion. And so, yeah, she's getting, I think I would bet on more. Yeah, okay, you're saying at least 3. Okay. Because I was going to say, I would bet on more. Like, I would bet we get the Tower coup, and then like an escaping scene. I would bet. And we're also obviously going to get her with Moiraine in the Love Shack. So yeah, this is a very good, I'm supportive of this theory. I agree with this theory. All right, we got a theory by Max S here. Theory: Mad Rand in Egwene's accepted test will be hearing LTT. Doesn't fully make sense for Egwene to know this in her own POV. I know it's a very loose theory. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But okay, yeah, she'll have to gentle him, and the arch will appear right in time to make her stop comforting him afterwards as he's sobbing for the loss of the power. But we'll remember his madness, and when we see him hear LTT for real later on, ooh, it will make us think of the scene and be really worried. Oh, that's a good, yeah, okay. I like the way that connects, like with, when we actually see him start to hear LTT. And I think we're getting that this season because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the actor who plays Lews Therin in like the previous 2 seasons said they did voiceover for this season. So I think we are going to get some LTT in Rand's brain. Oh, I like the theory a lot, but you're right. It doesn't make sense for her to hear that. Okay. But I like it. I don't know how to make it work. Okay. I really like this theory. I like the idea of it, but I don't know how to make it work and make sense with POV. All right, another theory by Kenzo. Aes Sedai dead in the image. Obvious and silly theory because the whole Walk crew has been hyping this up too much. I think Liandrin's trial and this is cake. It's interesting because this obviously is before they released the shredding. Okay, Liandrin's trial and fight will be crazier than we think. It was pretty crazy, especially since there are even Aes Sedai bodies, chopped in the hall in the trailer. In the book, it's not very clear why they end up judging and deposing Siuan, and I guess that Rafe Judkins will try to give it more sense and depth. Yeah, so I think the death of so many powerful sisters because they're sitters in the middle of the Dragon Reborn's rise could be one of the reasons Elaida uses to sway a lot of sisters to her side and even convince them to elect her as Amyrlin. I think that is 100% true. Like, I think what we got to see in the sneak peek definitely supports this. I also agree that it's not exactly clear in the books why they end up deposing Siuan. Like, it's Siuan's doing shady shit, which she is. Elaida's not wrong about that. Siuan was doing shady shit. But what exactly was it that made them go, that's worth deposing and stilling her? It's really, really nebulous. And I know it's very much a difference in the books from the show, or different in the show from the books, that in the show they've made it like it is Tower policy that we are to catch and cage the dragon. In the books, that's Eleida's policy. That's very much what Elaida wanted to do. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong again, but I don't think it's mentioned anywhere in the books that the Aes Sedai had a de facto policy of, when the dragon is reborn, we must catch and cage him and then control him. Like that was just Eleida's interpretation of what the best and smartest thing to do is. And so that's what she tried to do. In the show, they're making that the official policy, and then Siuan not doing that makes it very clear, okay, that's why they're going to depose her. So yeah, it's a little more straight line in the show, which again is one of those things I think makes sense. It's not that I don't, like, I have a problem with the way it is in the books, because in the way that it is in the books, what it kind of makes clear to me is that it was wrong to depose Siuan. Like, you disagreed with her about the way she was handling the dragon. We could have had a discussion about this, but even at that, like, I don't even know that that's why Elaida was wanting to depose. I mean, Elaida wanted to depose her because Elaida thought she had the goods to basically save the world. But I don't know if that was her justification, because it's just, she's being shady. Siuan's being shady, and we are going to get a bunch of people together to agree that she's being shady, and then, it's so nebulous. All right, we have a theory here by Fudgy Vamp. Matt isn't playing Maiden's Kiss. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Chad is interrogating him on why he has a stone dog and red salt, since red salt is Goshen, sept like Chiad, assuming she's still Goshen. If that was changed, then whatever clan she actually is. It might still be called Maiden's Kiss, just less kinky. I like this idea because, okay, we all called it Maiden's Kiss, and I do think, even if it's not Maiden's Kiss, that we are, like, book readers are meant to go, ooh, like, it's meant to be that Leo pointing me, where we're like, ah, like, that's what we're meant to think in that moment. Even if it's not, like, it's meant to evoke that. But I could see it not being Maiden's Kiss, just because, yeah, it's a little weird. Maiden's Kiss is a little weird. Okay, there's also a Fudgy Vamp theory. Maria Doyle Kennedy will play the first Maiden of the Spear in Rand's flashbacks. I love this, because more Maria Doyle Kennedy, please. She just, she knocked it out of the park in season 1. Like, that's one of the best monologues I've just ever heard. Just in television in general. Yes, okay. I love this as a possibility. I don't know if it's true. No idea. But I love it. Okay. And other people we've seen besides her. Rand and Selene will play other people in the flashbacks. And we'll see other Ogier besides Loyal. Oh, I want to see more Ogier too, please. Yes. I want singing. I want Ogier and Aiel singing together. That's one of the things I want in the flashbacks, personally. And I do think Selene will be Mirren. Like, I think that's who she's going to be. I don't, like, which is, because I don't think she would be other people. I think she would just be herself in the flashback. All right, another one. This is another one by Fudgy Vamp. Elaida will give the snake's prophecy while it's interesting, while healing Matt. It's a little unfair, because these theories were posted before we got the sneak peek. Instead, okay, so while healing Matt, instead of giving Rand a prophecy, the snakes are cut. Matt meets the foxes via Tanchico. Okay, I think we're getting both snakes and foxes, just because we saw the door and it had snakes and foxes. If you don't know, you can watch my breakdown video. I don't know, it'll be linked somewhere, or just search it. I don't know how, but whatever. Yeah, so I think we're getting them both. And the book is in, or the book, the door, the first door is in Tar Valon. I'm now fully buying into the theory that there are multiple doors, which is also in the books, but I am thinking that the snakes and foxes are going to be in the same place. That's my new theory, based on just, trying to make things work, based on the little information that we have. All right, another newsreader theory. They are foreshadowing Dumai's wells through this scene. Interesting. Okay, two things. When I was doing the costume video with Pez and Brie, what we came up with, not came up, but like the feeling this was evoking from us in our conversation was Masema. So instead of like Masema going out there and gathering people to support the dragon in his own mad way, it'll be Rand with his like cult followers out there getting people to support him. And Moiraine bowing here was reminding us of Alejandra. Someone, I believe it was Dana, and I'd have to zoom in on this image. Hold on, let me actually do that. Okay. Oh, it's hard to say. I have to zoom in on it in better quality, not just in Discord like this. Pointed out that they didn't see Moraine's ring. Like somebody pointed that out in the comments of that video, which is telling. Another newsreader theory, this scene takes place in the soiree. Yep, love shack between Moiraine and Siuan. I 100% believe that, 100%. Like this just, this background here looks like the love shack to me. Oh, there's another, okay, hold on, let me scroll down. I can't show them both on here on the screen at the same time, just because it's too big, but hold on. The interior design matches, it does. Not only does the interior design match, although, okay, if you go, oh, my mouse is over there now. Sorry, just playing with computers, it's weird. So we've got like the bamboo structures, the windows. Her outfit even looks similar. Granted, it's red in one and blue in the other. And I think this is a dress that we see her in the trailers, but there's just, it's evoking, like she's more relaxed and free in this as well. Newsreader brings receipts with their theories. Okay, Aviendha will go through the rings at the same time as Moiraine, just like in the books, minus the nakedness. Yeah. I think that's just true. I think minus the nakedness, obviously true. And we've all ranted about that, I'm sure. It's just silly. It's utterly silly how many times the women have to get naked as part of their rituals, and the men never ever do. So why? What? I mean, I know why. But whatever. And yeah, I think this woman here is probably Aviendha. It doesn't make any sense for it to be anybody else. All right, we're again talking about the scene in the Love Shack. If this scene happens in the Love Shack, maybe Moiraine is trying to persuade Siuan to convince the White Tower to bend the knee to Rand. I mean, isn't she saying that in that? I'm trying to remember the shot from the trailer where she's, if the tower does not bend the knee to Rand al'Thor. So I think that's a given. Which Siuan tries to do in real life and fails. This, coupled with the Black Aja escape, provides enough reason for Elaida and her faction to stage the tower coup. Yeah. Okay. So I think we might, I could see this. There'd be some sort of interaction between Siuan and Elaida where like they basically have a different philosophy of what they need to do with the dragon. Obviously, Siuan, we know this from season 2. It's like, Moraine's job was to find the dragon, and Siuan's job was to try and get the tower to support the dragon. That was Siuan's job. And it's going to seem like, not seem like, it's going to be that Siuan fails in this. She's going to fail in this, and then Elaida is going to take over because Elaida is going to be following the book, following what the show has said is official Aes Sedai policy. Theory. I'm talking like I know. I don't know. But that's what my guess is based on what we know so far. Newsreader again, coming with the receipts. Darkfriends mixed with Trolloc herd. Yes, there are people running with the Trollocs. Now, that actually makes sense. Like, it's not, I don't think we see that in the books, but we know that Padan Fain had white cloaks that he kind of corrupted. Did they ever become officially Darkfriends? That's actually, that's a theory question. The people that Padan Fain corrupts, do they become incredibly unpleasant and unkempt and whatever? Do they? Because I would, just my own personal philosophy, just you have to actually make a choice to be a dark friend. You can't just become a dark friend because unless you're turned, which is like horrific, like one of the more horrific things in the books in entirety, unless you are turned against your will. Would just being corrupted by Padan Fain be enough to make you a dark friend? Oh, that's a whole other conversation. Okay, whatever. But this makes sense. We do have dark friends. They do exist. It also makes sense financially, just because you can only make so many Trolloc suits. Oh, but they're so good, the Trolloc suits. All right, Alex, the dark one again. The book cloaks are going book cloaks. The book cloaks are going to hate season 3 because it is not a one-to-one adaptation of The Shadow Rising. This is not even a prediction. This is already a given. I've already seen it. They're also going to have problems with casting since character doesn't look exactly how they want the character to look. Yes. When the show starts like ramping up, it always happens. I get familiar faces in my comments. One of my favorites showed up. It introduced me to brand new racism. Just of all the things. It was like they're getting so mad at me because I wasn't like engaging with their arguments, which I don't care. If you don't like the show, just don't like the show. Why are you gonna not like the show in my comments? That doesn't make any sense. I don't go in the comments of people like, and there are videos. If you hate the show, there are channels that make videos that get tons of views that are just shitting on the show. Go watch those channels. People will engage with you in those comments happily. Why come to, I'm not in their comments being like, fuck you hate the show, I like the show, fuck you, you're stupid. Why? Because I don't need to put that in my life. Whereas these people seem to have no life and just want to make other people miserable. It's so weird. But anyway, yeah. It was a funny comment, and it was new racism. I never heard that racism before. It was a comment that like somehow managed to, I mean somehow, it's a level of dexterity. They included racism, homophobia, sexism, and ageism. Like it was a hate soup. All right, this is Iseti Ghost Theory. Moiraine has a relationship with Lanfear in one of her visions of dying. Okay, I haven't finished this comment. I'm going to keep reading in a second, but I hope so. I don't know how much of those visions we're actually going to get to see. I could see them doing, because I think that the show is good, that the Moraine's rings are going to be the show's version of Flicker, right? So we could start off by seeing some more of her flickers, and then we just like ramp through, and that's when it starts spinning. And my thought is the shot that we had of Moiraine and Lanfear in bed together was very quickly spinning. So if it's there, it would be part of the quickly spinning flickers if things are what they are in my head. Like if my theory is right about that. But it makes perfect sense to me. Like in those futures, Moiraine tried everything to the point, like in the books, it's canon that in one of those futures, she tried having a romantic relationship with Rand, and it was a disaster. Why not try Lanfear? Like that, it's so weird to me how both of those seem equally as insane a prospect of a way to solve the problem. Like Moiraine and Rand make less sense to me than Moiraine and Lanfear. Because it's just, ew, I don't know. It just, okay. All right. Up to this point, we've seen people surmise that the scene of them in bed is Lanfear doing a trick with Tel'aran'rhiod and swapping out with Siuan, which I initially thought, and could still be the case. But as it appears in the middle of the teaser with all the choking, stabbing scenes, does it point to one version where Moiraine had tried to be with her and it still goes badly? Or was Moiraine in bed with Rand? See, I hate that so much. I hate it so much. And Lanfear came to call to repay the situation in a role reversal. All vision related rather than Tel'aran'rhiod. Yeah, I do think it is vision related. But yeah, my guess right now, just based on literally the fact that it's spinning, is that it's just going to be like a flicker. We're not going to spend much time in that second. Although I would like to. Newsreader, again, receipts, I love it. White Cloaks taking part in the defense of Two Rivers. Yeah, I pointed this out in my breakdown. This is a break from book canon for sure. White Cloaks being useful. Also, sorry, we haven't gotten to these ones in my costume videos yet. I'm hoping we'll be able to record another one. But look what Faila has. She's got knives in her hands. She's got knives. I love her so much. Newsreader again. Okay, these two scenes could be from Egwene's first times in Tel'aran'rhiod. Ooh. When her time as Damane is reflected as a nightmare, that makes sense, as Rena is choking her and she disintegrates into particles, beetles, or, okay. My theory about this disintegration, sorry, I just stopped reading there for a second. I think I talked about it, well, I know I talked about it in my breakdown, is that this is like a Tel'aran'rhiod like a way of showing how people move, from place to place in Tel'aran'rhiod, just because we saw it, this kind of thing, maybe not this exact effect, but something very, very similar in season 2, when Lanfear makes Ishamael disappear, and when she there's that scene with Ishamael stroking Rand's face in bed, and then she changes into Lanfear. It's that same disintegration effect. Okay. Bear could recreate this nightmare scenario to teach her a lesson. Ooh, do you think this would be it? That would hit home. Because remember in the books, like, Bear just turns into like a weird Beetlejuice monster. Like, her mouth grows really big. It's weird. But okay, I can see that, because that would definitely hit home. And hit home more for us as viewers, because it's emotional. Also probably would be less special effects, because you're not having to actually distort a person's face. So would save money. Okay. Bear could recreate this nightmare scenario to teach her a lesson. Another possibility is these are from her accepted test. That could make sense for the accepted test, because the accepted test does seem to go past, present, future. This could be past, as a test forces one to face their fears. Yeah. Okay. All of those theories make sense to me. Every single one of them. No idea. Newsreader again. They will fast forward Egwene and Elayne's accepted test after the shredding to make up for the loss of powerful channelers. Oh, that's a good justification. That's actually, okay, I actually could see this being like a 2-layer thing, because that will be a good justification for the Aes Sedai in general. And then Swan's personal justification could be, and I need you because I need people who I don't think are Black Aja to be hunting the Black Aja. Like, I do think they might still be our, like, Black Aja hunters, like the Nine Detective Agency, the NDA, could still be going out there. So, yeah, newsreader, man, come on in with the theories. Aviendha conjuring spears made of air and fire will inspire Rand to create his fire sword, because we haven't seen him do that. Yes, okay, that makes sense. I can see that working. And we know he's going to be getting training from Lan, because we've seen that shot. So, this makes a lot of sense. All right, I sent a ghost. What if in Egwene's testing or early Tel'aran'rhiod bumbling around in seeing herself in the Idom, I gotta be seeing the trailer, sees the male one for Rand and where it is, and that sets off the Grudge Squad searching. Oh, interesting. Okay. Exactly. My initial theory from, like, one of the theories I came up with is them because they captured Joya, because, again, that shot with the bald person in the cell, maybe Joya gives a hint about Tanchico. And now I'm thinking, like, based on the shredding, seeing the Domination Band, or, well, what we're assuming is half of the Domination Band, that they then have to go to, like, follow the Black Aja on their fetch quest. So it's like a fetch quest following a fetch quest. Okay. It could come from Egwene's Tel'aran'rhiod bumbling. I could see that. Okay. Rather than stumbling across it as they do in the books, as vaguely look for things. So they can have something very specific to look for. Yeah. The show has tended to be a bit more direct. That is very true for time constraints. So I wondered if they would hone in on it in other ways. That makes sense. I could see that. That could be a way of doing it. That could definitely be a way of doing it. Fudgy Vamp again. I do think that Verin might still give them the dream ring. I think so too, for reasons that I will discuss in another video that I'm going to make hopefully soon. Life is so busy these days. But yes, I do think that's true. Or at least Egwene's first dream lesson, leading her to try to investigate Tanchico in Tel'aran'rhiod and getting ported to the waste on accident over and over again. I do think she has to get ported to the waste, because I think that's that scene from the trailer of Bear going, "You do not belong here," and Moiraine, Egwene in that black outfit out in the way. So I do think that's true. I will talk about that in a video coming up soon. All right, Alex, we may see a version of Demise Wells in season 3. What? Not the Ashaman kill part. Yeah, because there's no Ashaman yet. What? But the part where okay. The part where Perrin reaches out to the wolves for help defend. Sorry, you got me live reacting to this. What? Perrin for help defending Emmons Field, and the wolves come to their aid, rescue. Yeah, I could totally see that. That makes sense. I would love to see it, like it getting his wolfiness. Oh, the we come moment. That would be amazing. Alex again. Fayo will be in the Two Rivers. Going off what she told Perrin in the books, she thinks that the Horn of Villiers is in the Mountains of Mist, hidden in the ruins of Manetheren. Yep, I think this is true. I think this is going to be the justification for her being there. We're not going to... I think someone earlier on said we might pick her up. Like their theory was pick her up in maybe Whitebridge or Barrelon. I don't know, but I do think that this is going to be the reason that she's there in the first place. Fudgy Vamp again. Down the line theory, if they keep the actresses, the Red who expressed unconditional support of Liandrin is Galena. What if they keep the actresses? The Red who expressed unconditional support of Liandrin is Galena, the one who killed Jane's warders and stood alongside Maxim and Ivan is Pavara. Okay, the one who killed Jane's warders, I don't think can be Pavara. And I think someone in the comments said that their name was confirmed, but I don't think it can be because I'm pretty sure that actress or that character died. I'm pretty sure we see her body. And I think the one who expressed unconditional support is also a dead body that we see. So, wilder theory that has no grounds is Pavara is Ivan's sister. Interesting. Okay. I thought they shared a look in the sneak peek, but I think I hallucinated that since I can't find it now. Again, I think they died. So I don't think that this is possible. Okay, theory from Lauren. I think the end of season 3 will be Egwene being summoned by the Salidar Rebels. Ooh, okay, that could work. That could absolutely work. Much like how they condensed a lot of books 2 and 3 together. It's mostly book 2, but if you know, there's definitely parts of book 3 put in there. I could see books 5 and 6 being condensed quite a bit as well. So book 6 is beloved for very good reasons, but it takes a long time for that book to actually hit the part where we all go, yeah, this is finally happening. It's a gut punch. Not Dubai as well as a gut punch. It's awful and terrible, but it's amazingly well written. But it's a long time. So I could see them condensing those two a lot, which would make sense then with this to end with that. Oh, I can see this. This is interesting. Follow-up theory or the cold open for season 4 will be the Rebels meeting to discuss raising an Amerlin to oppose Elaida. Yeah, I like the idea of this coming soon, not being 2 seasons away. Yeah, I could see it more happening in season 4, but early on, much like this theory. That would be my guess on this. Okay, Lauren's theories continue. Maybe Elaida being raised Amerlin is the cliffhanger for season 3. Oh, the end of season 3? My guess is that's going to happen right now. My guess is that's going to happen midway because we're going to spend my guess again is we're going to spend some time this season with a stilled swan. That's my guess. Okay, which would lead into maybe a quick 30-second teaser of the Blues and Salidar coming together. Elaida is proclaimed, crowned. We maybe get she comes, the Watcher of the Seals, the Flame of Tarvalon, the Amerlin seat. Elaida sits down in the hall. Oh, we have to get that scene. We absolutely have to get that scene this season. Oh my God. It shows there obviously being no blues. Ooh, and no blues in her stole. Fade to black shows an accepted her novices running to a blue sister in Salidar, calling her to a meeting. Okay, now I like this. I like that idea. Yeah, the fact that there's no blues. Another one by Lauren. If they want to tie things together more, they could have Moiraine meet up with the Salidar sisters briefly to tie the story together. Okay, I'm going to give a little gripe about the books here because I love these books. I do. But there is one thing in the books. Well, there's one thing. But this is one of those things that it's a note throughout the series that RJ very much prioritized romantic relationships over any other type of relationship. I mean, as far as ones he gave significance. Moiraine and Siuan were best friends. They were dear, dear friends in the books. And, dear friends who had at one time been lovers, but they were friends. The fact that Moiraine dies and Siuan doesn't really ever talk about it, or Siuan is stilled and Moiraine doesn't ever talk about it or seem concerned, that drives me a little crazy that we don't get a scene of them reunited. We don't really even pay attention to Moiraine and Lan having, there's just not a focus on those things because they weren't romantic. The romantic relationships, okay, I'm going to try not to say an end of the book spoilers. I was about to say something, I'm going to not do it. But, there's just this sense in the books where things like relationships with your families, relationships with your old childhood friends, relationships with your friends who have stood by you and backed you through thick and thin don't get nearly as much, like, they are not prioritized in choices that people make or things like that when compared with romantic relationships. This to me would be a great scene just because both of these characters will have been through something significant. I'm talking about Moiraine and Siuan, and probably want to talk to each other about it because they need friends. They don't just need lovers and partners and romantic entanglement. They need friends. People need friends. And in the show, they actually are romantically involved. So if Robert Jordan had written that, he probably would have focused on it, but he didn't. So at least not at this point. They were over their romantic relationship. So, that's a whole other can of worms. But yeah, I just think, yes, this would be good. Follow-up comment here by Lauren. Like having them rally around Moiraine, but she pieces out because she's worried they will try to race her Amyrlin in place of Siuan. I really like that as a theory, just because it is, again, a nod to something that happens in New Spring, where basically Moiraine pieces out of Tar Valon because she's like, I don't want to be Queen of Kyrian. She just like runs away. So I like this as a theory as well. Yeah, I'm just spitballing ways they could have the blue Aja represented if they do the Salidar, since we don't really have that many named blues in the show. That's true. I like this as a theory, just again because it brings people together in scenes that we don't get in the books, just because they weren't prioritized. Like interactions between certain characters that we don't get in the books, just because they weren't prioritized. Okay, from Newsreader again. From both the books and the show, we know it is almost impossible for a gentle, still person to live without their connection to the One Power. Yes, unless they have a higher purpose to dedicate their life to take their mind off their trauma. I believe the show will show us after Siuan and Lyanna are stilled in the Tower Coup and escape Tar Valon. Siuan will make it her life's mission to take down Elaida and bolster the rebel faction, just like in the books. Lyanna's purpose in life will be protecting Siuan. Yes, definitely, at all costs, both physically and mentally, even from Siuan herself, if necessary. The books never really elaborated on how Lyanna's coped with her severing. A few glances here and there, but not the full picture. I could see that being the case, especially given that, scene from the shredding with her bashing in that woman's head. That makes perfectly good sense to me. Because yeah, we do get a bit of it, but it was like she changes Aja's. She becomes a green, and her thing. There's different ways of interpreting it, and I want to interpret it in the most charitable way. But I know that there are people who, because I've read the comments on basic different forums, that they're like, oh yes, she changed her focus to be makeup. Like, really? You think that? Really? So this is much more clear that the other charitable interpretation I've heard is like it became self-care. It was her making her focus, well, basically taking care of herself. But there are people who interpret that as oh yeah, it became makeup. It's just no, ew. But this is I think this makes a lot of sense. Alex is back. We're gonna get a Trolloc cookpot scene in season 3. Maybe, ew. Alex again. Theory: Matt's luck is going to start showing up, subtle at first, so non-book readers don't notice. Then it's going to get more blatantly obvious to the point where we'll be laughing our asses off. Okay, I haven't thought this through, so you're going to get me trying to make this theory make sense live. But it's just a nebulous theory I've had since the shredding, like the sneak peek. But we saw that dice, Tel'aran'rhiod. I believe at some point we might get an explanation of the dice, and then at some point, sorry, like I said, you're getting me putting this together live. But the basic thought is at some point, Matt's going to make contact with that. And people will start to make a connection that, because his luck in the books isn't ever really explicitly explained how it happens. showing like and highlighting that dice Tel'aran'rhiod in the sneak peek, but in the episode, like, and they fully focused on it. It was crisp. Like it wasn't a blurry thing in the background. It was very, very crisp. So highlighting it makes me think that we'll get an explanation of what it is, and B, it's going to have some impact on the season. So yeah, that's my theory. Somehow Matt's going to come in contact with it, and that will be an explanation for what happens with his luck. Sorry, follow-up theory. Maybe I could see him knocking it over and it making like a specific sound when it's knocked over, and that being the sound that they use if they do the dice rolling thing in his head. Like I could see it being not necessarily, okay, we won't like hear dice tumbling, but I could see it being used as a musical sting. Like what I'm getting in my head as I think about this, I don't know if you remember or how many of you watched Battlestar Galactica, but there were the drums, right? If the dice could make a specific rhythm, that could be part of a musical thing that we come to associate with Matt in moments where he has to make a significant choice or something like that. All right, we got one here from Mike, Gulf of Wolfie. I'm sorry, his name still cracks me up. That was not his original name. It's changed. It's a Gulf of America joke, but it makes me laugh a lot. Okay, I'll try a theory. Elayne, I gotta go on a quest. Galad, no quest. Mummy would like it. Elayne, oh, cringe. Mommy's not here. Sorry. And me has magics, so try stopping. Gawain, dang, got us there. At least take us as bodyguards. Matt kicks both their asses, making kung fu noises. Sorry, this is cracking me up. Elayne, I'll take him. Oh my God. Sorry, okay, this is a joke, but that's a good thing. Okay, Galad and Gawain. Ouchies! Elayne, serves you right. Also, magics, come on, Matt. Here, take this cool hat. Matt, what in the light just bloody happened? Dice roll in his head. Okay, justification for why Matt goes to Tanchico. Like, in this, there's a real theory in this joke. There's a real theory. Yeah. Like, that could be like, no, you don't come with me. Don't worry, we've got Matt with us. He kicked your ass. You stay here, Galad and Gawain. Like, that, I can see that. That could work. Loyal will give a this is Iceni Ghost. Loyal will give a Manetheren history pep talk before the Battle of the Two Rivers. I mean, I would love that. You know what I would love? If it is also accompanied by another singing of Wheat for Manetheren. Because I love that song. It's good. Calmia here. Elaida was the Aes Sedai that beat Moiraine when she had trouble channeling, and she'll explain to Nynaeve how blocks work and how to overcome them. I think this is confirmed that it was Elaida, because I believe in the announcement that Shora is playing Elaida, they said Rafe basically told her who his headcanon was for Elaida, and Rosamund's response was, I've always had a thing for older Persian women, which... Same, Rosamund, same. But yes, yeah, from the season 1 story that Moiraine told Rand. I think this is confirmed. Calmia again. Joya won't make it out of Tar Valon. She will be captured, imprisoned, and she'll be the one to give the hint that there's something in Tanchico that could harm Rand. Yes, we've talked about this a fair bit. Yeah, I think this is true. Also, Uno and Elias will give Perrin Tel'aran'rhiod lessons. Okay. Uno is in Tel'aran'rhiod because he is a hunter for the horn, or he's a hero of the horn. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, I like this as a theory. I don't know if it's true. Oh, I like it as a theory. I like it a lot. Because I love the wolf training, but they have not given us talking wolf mouths or wolf voiceover, so there's how they are going to be communicating wolf stuff. I don't know. All right, I guess I'll stop there. I've been filming for an hour, so just give myself a video that is actually possible for me to edit. But yeah, let me know your theories. I did not get to any YouTube theories yet. I know people left some theories in the comments of my previous video. Hopefully when I get to the Discord ones, I will have time to get to the YouTube ones before season 3 comes out. It's just, my life is actually really busy right now. So, yeah, but let me know your theories in the comments below. I will try and get to them for a future video soon. And let me know your thoughts on my theories and on these theories as well in the comments below. And if you like my content and you want to support me, I also have a Patreon that is linked in the description below. To my patrons, as always, thank you so much for your continued support. This is all possible because of you, so thank you. And with that, I will end this here, so please like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.